So, if you're learning French, you've probably hit this wall, right? It's that frustrating moment when you realize you know tons of words, but you just can't quite say what you really mean. Well, today, we are going to bridge that gap. We're moving beyond just knowing the words to actually speaking French with real nuance. Yeah, that feeling is super common. You've got the vocabulary, you know the grammar rules, but then you get into a real conversation and something's missing. You're stuck right in that gap between what you know and what you can actually express. Well, that missing piece, it's all about nuance, the ability to talk about what you can do, what you must do, and what you want to do. And in French, believe it or not, the keys to unlocking all of that expression are three essential verbs: pouvoir, devoir, and vouloir. All right, let's dive into our first key, pouvoir. This is going to be your go-to verb for talking about what's possible and what you're capable of. At its core, pouvoir kind of has two main jobs. First, it describes what you are physically or mentally able to do, your abilities. But it's also the exact same verb you use to ask for or be given permission to do something. Now, this is where it gets really interesting because context changes everything. Over on the left, je peux nager just means I can swim. It's a simple statement of ability. But on the right, je peux entrer, that shifts the meaning completely to may I enter? It's a request. See that? Same verb, two totally different social functions. Okay, so to get you using this like today, here are the essential I forms. In the present, it's je peux. If you're talking about something you were able to do in the past, it's j'ai pu. And looking ahead to a future possibility, you'll use je pourrais. All right, let's move on to our next key and see how these ideas build on each other. Next up is devoir, which is a real powerhouse verb for talking about necessity and logic. So just like pouvoir, devoir has this kind of dual personality. Its main job, the one you learn first, is to express obligation, all the things you must do or have to do. But it also has this more subtle side. It's used to express a strong guess or a probability, what you figure must be true. And you can really see that difference right here. Je dois partir is a clear, strong obligation. I must leave. No question about it. But look at the other side. Il doit pleuvoir translates to it must be raining. You're not ordering the clouds around. You're making a logical guess based on what you see. It's an assumption with a lot of confidence. And again, here are the forms you're going to use all the time when you're talking about your own responsibilities. In the present, it's je dois. For a past obligation, you'd say j'ai dû. And for something you will have to do in the future, it's je devrais. And that brings us to our third and final key, vouloir. This is the verb of wanting things, of desire, and maybe most importantly for getting by in daily life, politeness. The main job of vouloir is super simple. It's how you say you want something. But, and this is the magic trick, with just a tiny change in tense, it becomes your single most important tool for being polite in French. Let me show you how. So this right here is absolutely crucial. Je veux un café is I want a coffee. It's direct, it's clear, and honestly, in some situations, it can sound a little blunt. But if you change it to je voudrais aider, using what's called the conditional tense, it softens it to I would like to help. Boom. Instantly more polite, more formal. Mastering this one little change is a total game changer for how you sound. So to talk about what you want across time, you'll use je veux for right now, j'ai voulu for a past desire, and je voudrais for something you'll want in the future. But just remember that je voudrais, that's your golden key to politeness. Okay, so we've met our three keys. Now it's time for the master rule. There's one simple, incredibly powerful piece of grammar that makes all of them work together perfectly. Forget all those complicated grammar charts. To use all three of these verbs correctly, every single time, you really only need to remember one thing. That's it. Just one. And here it is. After you use pouvoir, devoir, or vouloir, the very next verb, the action verb, always stays in its original, unconjugated form. That's the infinitive. So you only conjugate the first verb. Je dois étudier. Je veux manger. Je peux parler. It's honestly that simple. Let's see this master rule in the wild. Check out this sentence. I must prepare an exam this week. Last year, I was able to learn a lot. You see, we conjugated doit and I pu, but préparer and apprendre, the actual actions, they just stay in their original form. That's the rule, right there at work. So, why does all of this matter so much? Because with just these 3 verbs, you now have a precise toolkit for talking about your own life. You can use devoir to talk about your responsibilities, pouvoir to talk about your opportunities and your skills, and vouloir to share your hopes and dreams. You've literally just unlocked a whole new level of self-expression. So, you have the keys now, the 3 essential keys to unlock a more nuanced, more confident, and just a more authentic way of speaking French. The only question left is, what are you going to unlock first?